to the Traveling Black Women podcast, where we are talking to Black women around the world. I'm your host, Nadine, and I am so excited to take you on a journey with fearless Black women exploring the world. Each episode, we uncover hidden gems, share travel hacks, and hear inspiring stories from incredible travelers who look just like you. So whether you're a seasoned globetrotter or planning your very first adventure, we've got something special for you. So stay tuned and let's dive into today's episode. Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Traveling Black Women podcast. It's your girl, Dr. Nadine Duncan, and today we are diving into a topic that's so real, so necessary, and so overdue. Work-life balance for Black women. Listen, I know it feels like this whole self-care conversation has been beaten into the ground, especially as it relates to Black women. And you know what? It probably has. But let me tell you, we cannot stop talking about it. We can't. Because if we don't prioritize our peace, no one will. If we don't prioritize our joy, no one will. People make money off of our productivity. It is time for us to be like, all right, y'all got it. I'm about to hit this beach with this check that you put in my account. Thanks. We need to start enjoying the fruits of our labor, and just kind of figuring out what works best for us because no one else is going to do it. So if we have to continue beating self-care and Black women into the ground, then we just going to have to do it. Just the other day, I had the pleasure of speaking with a group of Black women. They were all leaders in their field, and it was just amazing to be in the room and to be having conversations about grinding at work and, living out your passion and being a leader and doing all the things. But, at the end of the day, even though each person I could tell was passionate about, their job or they loved what they did at their core, they were tired. And I remember that feeling. I remember that was the feeling that I had after I moved back to America and was thinking, okay, I'm going to go back into administration because I was in administration in Abu Dhabi. And y'all, let me tell you, I was like, the last person to leave every day, I don't want it. I don't want it. And I just kept looking like, this is, I think once you experience like true work-life balance like I had when I lived in Abu Dhabi, it's very hard to go back. And it was something that I'll admit that I took for granted a little bit when I was in Abu Dhabi. Like it just was kind of the norm. So it was like, oh yeah. And I kind of forgot, maybe not necessarily took for granted, maybe more so forgot. And I came back and I was like, oh, this was what the grind was like. Yeah, I don't like this. And I didn't like it. And I was looking at administrators who just, they were tired and fretful and just not happy. And I was like, I don't want that. I don't want that for myself at all. Like, I want all the joy. I want all the fun. I want all the goofiness. I want all the silliness. I don't want any of this, sorry, sad, drab. I have a litany of things that I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. This sucks, But at my core, I'm still very passionate about education, and that's what I saw, during that meeting. And I remember when I asked myself, like, am I going to let this passion kill me? Like, I'm going to be sitting here struggling to say, oh, but I'm passionate about these kids. And, am I going to allow myself to do that? Or am I going to just say, you know what? Y'all got it. And I'm going to go over here and create a life where I can still make an impact, but preserve my sanity at the same time. So I think that's where my whole like self-preservation came in. I am not going to let this passion kill me because this passion is not aligned with the action. That's a bar maybe. I don't know. That kind of was cool. But anyway, it wasn't aligned. Like, here's my passion. I want the next generation, particularly the youngsters that look like me, Black kids, Caribbean kids. Like, I want them to have so many things, but this system that I'm a part of is hurting more than helping. And I don't see why I need to continue being a part of it just to say, this is my passion. There has to be another way, and I think for the most part, I found it. I do feel like I am moving more and more towards the work-life balance that I want. I've just started my internship program with TBW, and I'm so excited about it because I have 5 amazing ladies. I have a digital marketing intern. I have 2 video production interns, and I have 2 community events interns. And it's really cool because I have created kind of like a syllabus for each one. So this is not just, how people be like, oh, just get some interns to do it. No, if you know me as an educator, that is just not how I operate at all. It used to kind of piss me off a little bit low key, because it's like, why do you think somebody else's time and labor is free and available to you simply because they're young and haven't had a wide portfolio of experience yet? You know what I'm saying? So I finally sat down, and I was like, okay, let me see what this could actually look like if I did get some interns, because I do want them to walk away with something as well. So I sat down, created some modules, created like, rubrics for certain things, and let it rip. So far, so good. And I'm excited about it because here it is, I think everyone is a senior or has graduated. I wish someone would have told me that my skill set or my skills were more important than the job, because I kept feeling like it was about the job. The job needs to like me. The job needs to do this. I need to do this for the job, and not necessarily what skill set do I have that job needs, giving me the ability to think about, okay, I can go here and here and here. And it wasn't until I think midway into my first year teaching that I recognized that. And I recognized it because people kept saying, oh, you could teach anywhere. And I was just like, I could teach anywhere. And that was when I was in DC and I moved to Georgia. So my hope for them is that, as they go through this internship, and any other thing they got going on in their life, they're just seeing like, my skill set is what's going to carry me, not a job, not any type of external praise, but really the ability for me to see myself and say, I know how to do XYZ. Either you want my services or not, and keep it moving. I mean, maybe not that rude, obviously, but I think for too long, especially the way this corporate world is just all set up, it's very easy for higher ups to make people feel small simply because they can. You know what I'm saying? I just don't really want that for the next generation, especially young Black girls. That was a tangent, but I say all that to say, I still love education very much. It's still very much the center of everything that I do. And I'm really excited that I have these young ladies on board as interns for the Traveling Black Women Network, because now it finally feels like I have successfully merged both of my passions. So now back to the main topic that I said we was going to talk about, work-life balance. But you know what? No, that is work-life balance, right? Because I've learned how to merge my passion in life, which is education, seeing the next generation do all the things, and what is now becoming my work, which is building this network. So here we are. But here's a big question here. Are we out here being the backbone of our families, our jobs, our communities, and still expected to keep it all together? Like, our stress levels are through the roof, and nobody is handing out any gold stars for burnout. Nobody is. Like, you burnt out, you burnt out. They still expecting you to show up. So we're overworked, we're underpaid. That's another way that I think travel comes in. I've said before, everyone has their niche where they're figuring out, okay, this is what self-care looks like for me. And I think it's really great for all of us to be in this space talking about self-care in different ways, because that gives you, as a listener, a consumer, or whatever, the opportunity to really say, okay, I have options. I have all these options in front of me on how I can better take care of myself, whether I'm into travel, whether I'm into beauty, whether I'm into lifestyle, which I don't really know all of what lifestyle entails. Maybe it entails everything. I don't know. But whatever it is that you're really into, books, whatever, you're seeing these things and you're thinking, okay, this type of self-care works for me. And it's whatever you pick up, even if it's not travel, whatever you pick up, I just want you to pick it up. That makes sense. Stepping away from the daily grind and just kind of removing ourselves, like physically removing ourselves, forces us to reset. It's not just the vacation pictures. I mean, still want to be looking cute, but it's really about how we reclaim our time, how we reclaim our energy, how we reclaim our peace, our joy, love, all the things. My last trip to Zanzibar and Phuket, absolutely life-giving. Absolutely life-giving. And if you missed that content, it's up online. More of it will be coming out soon because I have so many pictures, y'all. But it was such an amazing trip, and it was such a great start to the year because so much craziness was going on already. Inauguration hit, and it was like, what is happening? So it made it a great start to the year because I was able to disconnect, separate myself from the heaviness of it all, and continue to enjoy life. But it felt nice to step away. It felt really nice to step away and just be like, okay, for this period of time, because I know, we got all good things come to an end, but for this period of time, I'm enjoying my life in Zanzibar. I'm exploring, I'm doing all the things, and now I'm over here in Phuket and I'm eating this street food and I'm having fun and I'm just living life. And you get back and you hear this and that, but it doesn't feel as heavy because one, it's a whole world out there. It's a whole world out there, right? So that's one. But then two, it almost becomes comical, right? It almost becomes like this thing, this show that we're all just watching. It doesn't feel real anymore. And I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but I know it at least makes me feel like I don't have to allow what's happening to consume me. I don't know if that's the answer or if it's not, but being able to just basically get out of Dodge makes such a difference. I don't know if that's good advice or not, but that's my experience, so I'm gonna share it anyway. we don't we don't really give ourselves a whole lot of time to just do things for ourselves. And I'm not talking about like, oh, I'm just going to take this 15-minute shower. Like, no. Or this bubble bath. Like, yeah, those things are cute, but like to really do something that brings you joy and not just relaxation, because I feel like that relaxation is going to come out of your joy. You ever like just be in a situation where you just laugh so much? You just laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. That joy, like belly laugh, back hurt, and everything. When you're done laughing, you're relaxed. You are relaxed. So I'm not talking about going somewhere just to sit on the beach and be like, oh, I'm relaxed, because that can be boring. Like, let's be honest, that can be really boring. But to actually be in a space that you really enjoy, that you're really having a good time, that you're really letting loose, like me at Trinidad Carnival, for example, that is a sense of joy that relaxes you. And that is the difference between, oh, I'm just doing this self-care to be still, and I'm just doing this self-care to remind myself that I deserve to be happy. It really forces you to put yourself first. You're really saying to yourself, I deserve this. I'm going to go live my life for a little bit. I'm going to have a great time. You're choosing to explore, to rest, to experience the joy that you deserve. I mean, there's something really powerful about all of that. Like, really powerful about stepping into spaces where you're not just, oh, that there's the strong Black woman. No, I just want to be a woman today and every day. I just want to chill. Yeah. I would really like to just relax. I don't really want to be strong. Like, I don't even want to pick up this piece of paper. I don't want to be strong. Thank you. Thank you. I just want to be, you know? And I think that is what travel does for me. I get to just be. Yeah. I think we lose ourselves and just the grind of it all. You get lost up in the hustle. You're trying to build your career, your life, your legacy, and you don't check in with yourself. You forget like who you are, what you represent. You become somebody's mom, somebody's teacher, somebody's this, somebody's that. You're always somebody's something instead of just being. Travel reminds you that you are just you. You're just you. And I guess most of what I'm relating it to is that solo travel. But you could also do this with a small group. Having deeper conversations, because now you're outside of your immediate environment and you can see things or process things a little bit differently. You've gotten some time to think, some time to just kind of clear your mind, because for 15 minutes you had to think about something else, how to get from point A to point B, whatever it is. But now you find yourself with more of the capacity to process the issue, old or new. It could be an old issue that finally you're like, oh, about, um, but you find that you get more space in your mind to process things than you would have if you were still in the mix of it, trying to figure it out, trying to, deal with all the noise and the opinions around you. It just kind of reconnects you, and reconnects you to who you are. Our job titles, to-do lists, obligations, I mean, they just kind of consume you after a while, and it just kind of eats away at your joy. I'm about to wrap it up, but before I wrap it up, y'all, I want you to get a Post-it note. If you're driving, don't do nothing. But a Post-it note, notebook, something. If you're driving, just do it later. And write down this quote by Audre Lorde. And you might already actually have it written down. You might already know it. Caring for myself is not self-indulgence. It is self-preservation. And that is an act of political warfare. It's not just a vanity play. It's self-preservation. It is how I save myself. It's how I protect myself. It's how I take care of myself. It's how I look out for myself. I love that quote. I love that quote, y'all. Absolutely do. So what are we doing, ladies? Are we going to keep grinding until we break? Or are we going to start choosing ourselves? I mean, I know my answer. But like I said, we got to keep talking about it. We got to keep talking about it until it clicks. It feels right. It feels natural. There's no guilt attached to it. There's no questioning attached to it. It's just a part of our lifestyle. Our theme for our social club this year is travel as a lifestyle. This is a perfect example of what I mean. Making travel such an important part of your life that you don't have to guess when it's the next time you'll be able to get away. It's already on your calendar. It's already booked. It's already in motion. You know what I mean? If you're still kind of like figuring out, I get it. And we got you. We have the TBW Social Club. That's a paid membership, but we also have our free membership, which is our Facebook group. We have plenty of resources. We have a travel calendar, but if traveling in a group is not your thing, like we have travel guides, a YouTube channel, a blog, and of course this podcast where you can really like just sit and figure out what you want to do. We have a Pinterest channel with some ideas, so even though we have this travel calendar, it's not like we wouldn't support you in traveling solo. It's very important to me to have a work-life balance. I feel like I've gotten a pretty decent one so far, and I'm going to keep moving towards that work-life balance. I feel pretty good about where I am so far. I still contract as an education consultant. And that always doesn't feel good. I still have issues with that. But having that balance is like, all right, you know what? Y'all have pissed me off today, but y'all got it because I'm about to go to Phuket. But you got to have that. You got to have that. It has to be a part of your life. And it can't just be, I'm going for this reason or that reason. I'm going just because I want to, period, point blank. Self-preservation is so important. We are tired. You don't deserve to have to wait until retirement to say, all right, let me get 10 minutes of joy before my hip goes out. No, like, I'm being a little extreme. But no, like, for real, do something now. There are so many people online. I follow PTO Nomad. She's a great one that will share how you can really maximize your vacation days. Take a long weekend. Use some of the resources. Hop in one of these groups and ask questions like, hey, y'all, where can I go on a long weekend that's not expensive? Or, hey, y'all, where can I go on a long weekend that is like luxury 10.0? I'm trying to go. I'm trying to be pampered and soothed and everything. Whatever it is, somebody got an answer for you. This is definitely the year we're going to take care of ourselves. It's Women History Month. We just got finished with Black History Month. I mean, intersectionality is live and in color. So here we are on March 1st, just finishing up talking about our Blackness. And now we're going to talk about our gender. Y'all know how it goes. That's life, right? That's our lives. But anyhow, y'all have an amazing, amazing day, evening, afternoon, day at work if you're on your way to work. I hope you had a great day if you're on your way back from work. All the things. But whatever it is, have an amazing one. And thank you for tuning in. I'll talk to you later. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Traveling Black Women podcast. You can find us online at www.travelingblackwomen.com. And there you can find plenty more travel resources to help you plan your very next trip. We've got travel guides, we've got a blog, we've got our vlog, and you just listened to our podcast. I look forward to seeing you around. Thanks for tuning in.